this is Dave for That's Us Gaming, and welcome to Dave's Ramblings, where I basically talk your ear off about things I find interesting. Now, unfortunately, my list of things that I've found interesting lately has been next to non-existent, so I've really been struggling for stuff to talk about. So, I thought I would have a look at the recent Nintendo Direct that came out, and I think that was about a week ago now. Basically, I've had a chance now to play some of the demos and some of the free stuff that's come out, and I thought I'd just have a look. It's going to be unscripted, so you're going to get a lot of ums and oohs, and I'll try and get Kai to edit it as best as he can. But kicking off anyway, Mario Maker 2. Super Mario Maker came out on the Wii U, and to be perfectly honest with you, it was one of the best games on the system. I didn't even really play half the levels. I was just creating them for my wife to go through, and she would be like, oh, it's a piece of piss, make a harder one. I try my best to, but unfortunately you've got to try and beat the level yourself before you're allowed to save it, if you understand, and upload it for people to play. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to some of the extra stuff they've got in there. The idea that you can let the level scroll on like some of the airship levels, etc. I think that's a really good move. Looks really good. The fact that you can get like enemies that can you can direct their path. There's a lot of extra things like the Cat Mario. I wasn't too fussed on the Cat Mario because I thought it was crap anyway when it was first originated, but. Other than that though, I am really looking forward to seeing what they bring to Mario Maker 2. Right, on to the next one. What have I got on my list? Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Another one that was announced previously, but I am really looking forward to. I do have a bit of a gripe, and that is that Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 was awful. I mean, I really wanted to love that game. I loved the first one, but I found it awful. The new behind the shoulder view I didn't like. I mean, I'm hoping this one. I'm hoping that even though it's got all the bells and whistles, it's got the new Captain Marvel rather than Miss Marvel, etc. I'm hoping that it's not too Disney-fied, and it will still be fun to play. From what I've seen, it looks okay. It does look pretty good. It doesn't look 100% what I was hoping, and they haven't really showcased everybody yet. But there's still time. I think it's penciled in for maybe a summer release, something like that. But yeah, I'm still quietly optimistic. It should be pretty good as long as they sort of tweak the gameplay, make it fun to play. Because they've shown that you can play split screen with the consoles and stuff like that, multiplayer with the consoles, which was always one of the best things about the Switch. And they put a lot of emphasis on Captain Marvel, I suppose, with the film coming out. They want to try and hitch onto as much as they can, I suppose. Next one, Damon Ex Machina. Now, this one came with a demo on the eShop pretty much at the same time, and you know what? What a fun game. Now, I do have one of the problems I do have is it's very busy, and that will count for another game coming up in a minute. But this is very, very busy. Sometimes I don't know if it's just me, but it's like I don't even feel sometimes like I'm actually shooting. I'm trying to think, because there's so much going on around you that I'm not sure whether I'm firing full auto, whether I've got my trigger down and nothing's happening. There was so much happening that it was a lot to absorb, but after a while I did get the gist of it, and yeah, it was a very fun game. It looks fantastic. The art style and the art direction is brilliant. I've played, I think it was the first 4 missions, and some of the bigger enemies, they look absolutely huge. I can't wait to take some of them down. Okay, I'm moving on. Tetris 99. This was... Now, I'd heard rumours before the Direct come out that Nintendo said they had a classic multiplayer game coming, free to play, that would make Nintendo Switch Online worth it. I wouldn't really go that far, to be honest with you. I wouldn't say it definitely made it worth it, but I loaded it up, and again, it was so busy. I mean, basically imagine this. You are playing Tetris while 98 other people are all punching you in the back of the head. That's what it feels like. You'll be playing it, and imagine almost like Puyo Pop, where rather than things falling down onto your stack, they come from the bottom, pushing you ever closer to the top. And oh my god, it's so stressful. I mean, I am enjoying it, and funny enough, it probably out of everything that come out, it's the one that I've spent the most time on. And I haven't had the Tetris theme out my bleeding head for the last couple of days. But it's not a game changer though. But I think it's the most Nintendo thing you can think of. Let's make a battle royale game with zero violence. It's the Splatoon moment. It's let's make an arena shooter with a team-based shooter with no violence. That sort of thing. I did like it. I really did like it. But again, I'm not even sure what I'm doing. I mean, there's something at the top about picking targets. I can't concentrate on picking targets. I'm trying to concentrate on making bloody lines. Next one, Yoshi's Crafted World. Now, this one came again with a demo. Yoshi's Woolly World. This is the sequel to that. Yoshi's Woolly World came out on the Wii U. I'm surprised, really, there hasn't been any sort of rumblings of a Switch version, because it came out on the 3DS as well. And I'll be honest with you, it wasn't a bad game. It was a Yoshi game. It was definitely made for the younger audiences, but it was that typical Nintendo fashion where if you were an adult playing it, you had a lot of collectibles. You got to get all the balls of yarn, all this, everything like that. So, but I played the demo, and one thing that really struck me was the level of detail in the crafting. I mean, you can see the creases in the cardboard. You get all the way to the end of the level, and of course there's all these flower collectibles, and there's all the sorts of like red coins, etc. to collect. And then at the end you get to play the level in reverse, and I thought this was fantastic because you're looking at it actually in reverse, so none of the craft is painted, and you've got actual cardboard, and they went as far as putting things like fragile and little bits, barcodes, cereal, like your fake cereal boxes. And I gotta be fair, I thought that was such an inspired touch. And I mean, it's stuff like that. I mean, games like Tearaway on the Vita was another good one like this. I mean, sometimes, even though I can't wholeheartedly say I'm going to get it, I can look at it and go, do you know what? I really appreciate how much time and effort you actually put into these back. I mean, it's not the most powerful console in the world, but these sort of things really stick out, these sort of games. All right, moving on. Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy IX. Now, Final Fantasy IX is already out. Final Fantasy VII, I'm sure they said it was out. I'm sure it was this month, 26 or something like that. I don't know why the staggered release. Maybe I think if they release 7 a few weeks after 9, more people might get it rather than the 2 at once. But again, this is another one I was umming and ahhing on, because Final Fantasy 7 and 9 I currently own on the well, the Vita, and by that extension also my PSP, my PS3. Well, I've got it on the PC. You know, I literally, it's like, I think I've even got it on mobile. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got 9 on mobile. Do I want to get it on the Switch? It's one of those things, and I was looking at it going, maybe, even though I've got it all these other times, it's still something that, I mean, I love the games. The PS1 games were absolutely fantastic, and I know it's not cool to say that anymore, you know. Everyone's sort of like, oh no, well, you want to play the SNES games and stuff like that, but no, the PlayStation 1 games, 7, 8 and 9, 8 even, I've had a sort of, well, I hated it when I was younger, and then as I've gotten older, I played it more. I think I've played it more through than the others, where I've understood it, but they haven't announced that for the Switch, unfortunately. But yeah, there's not much else to say about these. I think the number 9 is the updated version that they released on Steam and the mobile devices. But the next one is another one that I was really shocked by this. Dead by Daylight. Now, this game, I honestly thought was dead. Well, I thought it was dead. I mean, it's still doing quite well, but I did not think that, I thought it'd be winding down. I did not think that it would have release on another console. But yeah, Dead by Daylight. I mean, I don't know why, because I'm sure that most people already have the game and they'll be playing it on something else, but I mean, I can't fault them. I mean, that's another notch on the Switch's bow, so to speak. I mean, it's a great game. If you haven't played it already, if you check out Dr. Von Crumb on Twitch, that's Luke. He plays it a hell of a lot, and to be honest with you, it's a great game. And if you haven't picked it up and you were curious about it, hopefully this will have all the DLC. That's what I'm hoping. I don't want like a base pack for like 50 quid and then no DLC, because this is the problem that the Switch has had recently, is why would you pay so much when I mean, for example, Civilization 6, that is currently £12 on Steam, or I think it's on sale at $39.99 on the Switch. And I know you've got the portability, but Jesus, it's a hell of a price difference. Okay, next. This one took me, well, I was blindsided because, quite frankly, it's just why. Assassin's Creed 3. That's it. Not Black Flag, not Syndicate, not Origins, not the Ezio Collection, which I think even came out after 3. Assassin's Creed 3. Now, bear in mind, this does come with the standalone game Liberation, but yikes, it wasn't the best game when it first came out. I mean, I won't be getting it, but okay, I mean, yeah, at least I suppose they're supporting the Switch with their God knows how many years old game. And lastly, I mean, I've left out Fire Emblem and stuff like that because I'm not that interested in them, and also I've run over my time ages ago. But the last one I wanted to talk about was Zelda Link's Awakening. This came at the end. Wow. Now, Link's Awakening came out on the Game Boy, and I think it was something daft like 1996, and then they released a deluxe version that came out on the Game Boy Color with like new colors and everything like that. But this game looks amazing. It looks like a stop motion, like clay almost, like movie come to life. It looks amazing. And the best part is Link's Awakening. I mean, I'm playing currently on my 3DS. I'm playing the Game Boy version, so I've stopped that now, waiting for this to come up. But it's still a fun game to play. It really is. To me, it was the Zelda, other than like the N64 games, it was the Zelda that I really most enjoyed. I loved the game. I thought it was brilliant. It was great to have in your pocket. I mean, it was a full Zelda game in your pocket. It was brilliant. But that one I am looking forward to almost more than all of them, I think. and that's going to be out, I think, I'm sure it was probably Q4 this year. But absolutely amazing. If you haven't seen the Nintendo Direct, I guarantee have a look. Just some of it gets a bit long-winded. I mean, the Dragon Quest and the Fire Emblem was a bit much, and I was, to be honest, Fire Emblem I like, but I'm not sure if I will be picking this one up. It seemed a bit like Valkyria Chronicles 2, like, oh, you know, warring factions, and you're in the neutral bit with your bloody school. And what is it with schools? You know, there's always some sort of academy. What was that, Final Fantasy Type 0 or whatever? That was a bloody academy thing as well. Well, war rages all around you. It seems a bit cut and paste for me. But anyway, if you've bear with me all the way to this, like 16 minutes in now, I am very, very grateful. Thank you for listening. And hopefully there will be some more gaming news that I can actually talk about. You know, maybe I may even play Apex Legends at some point and then report back on that. But thank you very much for listening. Please like, share and subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Bye.